handshakes and putting on spin. Tame my tongue, but it don't feel right. Time to dust off my boots and bark, not bite. To hell with pretenders, I ain't their puppet to string. Done with the rules and the fences they bring. I'll cuss, I'll yell, say what the hell I please. Back to my roots with mud on my knees. Tried the prim and proper, it just made me sick. Family friendly, sweet talk's a damn thick trick. Was born with grit, raised on whiskey and fight. I'll run my road straight, whether wrong or right. To hell with pretenders, I ain't their puppet to string. Done with the rules and the fences they bring. I'll cuss, I'll yell, say what the hell I please. Back to my roots with mud on my knees. They're clutching pearls 'cause I won't play it safe. But ain't no preacher gonna roll my grave. Fuck the whispers, fuck the doubt. This rebel ain't done raising a shout. To hell with pretenders, I ain't their puppet to string. Done with the rules and the fences they bring. I'll cuss, I'll yell, say what the hell I please. Back to my roots with mud on my knees. Well, Ron's tired of walking up. Well, Ron's tired of walking a line that's thin. Fake smiles, handshakes, and putting on spin. Tame my tongue, but it don't feel right. Time to dust off my boots and bark, not bite. To hell with pretenders, I ain't their puppet to string. Done with the rules and the fences they bring. I'll cuss, I'll yell, say what the hell I please. Back to my roots with mud on my knees. Tried the prim and proper, it just made me sick. Family friendly, sweet talk's a damn thick trick. Was born with grit, raised on whiskey and fight. I'll run my road straight, whether wrong or right. To hell with pretenders, I ain't their puppet.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Let's see. Let me make sure this is working.
Ron says test.
Perfect. All right. I gotta go over and do this monkeying around. First, we're gonna see if my live automatically kicked off on the old...
Barrican says sent you a DM re TikTok.
Okay.
Dash says good morning.
Really? So that means I'll have to do it separately. Good morning, Dash. Well, that's dumb. That's all right. There's more than one way to skin a chicken. Let me handle this. More than one way to skin a chicken around here. I got more than one way to skin a chicken. Why did they do that? I don't understand that.
Ruger wife says morning.
Good morning. It's going to get really hot today. So we're going to kick on the old Tic Tac too. I'll just have to do it from 2 separate devices this morning. That's all. So I'm working on positioning cameras here. Tis what it is. So this morning, the fishing truck is a mess. The Subaru was still a mess, still half a mess. Got most of it cleaned out, but this is the part of the IRL streaming that I hate. Cleaning all this stuff out and rearranging and getting set up for the next stream just so I can turn into a total disaster again. You guys hear the TTS all right? I'm wearing it on me today. I'm wearing the clip speaker. Thomas was happening. Kelly was happening. Come on in, grab a seat. I'm also live on TikTok. Make sure you check out roncleveland.tv if you want to get involved with the TTS stuff too. I'm currently streaming on Twitch and on TikTok.
Dash says yes.
Perfect. So I was going to go fishing this morning, but I have to go to Charter. And apparently they have new updated equipment that should help me with my internet
Barrican
problem.
says and kick.
Yeah, sorry, Kick. I got no way to be able to read your chat, so we'll work on that. Stream Buddy is garbage. I don't care what anybody says.
Ruger wife says good and sticky out this morning.
Yep, and it's going to get worse as the day goes on. But I have a mess back here because things have just kind of gotten thrown in here. This is the problem when you only stream for 2 hours here or there, is you kind of just throw everything in here. So I'm going to get stuff hung up. I'm going to get stuff hung up Whoa, look at all the drive-bys on the Tic Tac. What's happening, everybody? Come on in, hang out. A whole lot of people scrolling through here this morning. Come on in. Come on in, grab a seat. See, the thing with the longevity, and I'll tell you that I've been doing some research, and I'm researching the Tic Tac, and I've been doing some studies and some experiments and things like that. What I'll tell you with the Tic Tac stuff is the
Dash says
longevity.
I already turned on the AC in the porch.
Yeah, I got a feeling ours will be on here not too long. Although it looks awfully gray out to the west out there. Ruger Wife, how's it looking in your neck of the woods? Looks like it's over there. I had this grandiose plan. Yeah, when I started doing all this, I had this grandiose plan that I was going to...
OG asks what you doing.
I'm cleaning out the truck because I have a mess. Well, here, let me move you all over so you can see the truck. Let me first turn off
Ruger Wife says dark, but it's more south.
Now it's going to reconnect everything. And hopefully it didn't shut anything off. TTS, you're usually the number one culprit. Nope, it says still on. Perfect.
Ruger Wife says we are headed to Sons to chat on the place.
Oh, right on.
John says morning all I am home from the hospital on the phone ATM.
Right on.
Diglet with hat says how's the weather?
Well, a little bit of a breeze. It was muggy just a little bit ago, and then it cooled off again. We are in a tornado watch all day today, actually. Because we have a low pressure front that is pushing warm and cool air through here, and that is like the perfect mixture for a tornado. As you guys can see, the back of the truck. This is what happens. Mercy. This is Marcy. Hello, good to see you. Anybody else who said hello over on the Tic Tac, for whatever reason, Tic Tac has opted to there. Now I got that set up right. I had to remember how to do that. This is the part of IRL live streaming that people don't see, especially like when you're doing fishing or you're going out and doing related stuff. Everything just kind of gets thrown in there. And then you get done fishing, and it's like my original intention when I set all this up is, oh yeah, I'm going to come home and unload the truck every night. Well, half the time I'm not done until after 9 o'clock. And I come home.
Cat Claus says morning brother.
What's up, brother? I see you're out on another epic adventure. By the time you get everything set up here, and you throw everything in the truck, and then it's like, I still have not figured out what I'm going to do for a rod holder in this truck. A rod holder would help me out immensely to where everything else could just stay in here. Every time I think I have an idea, I have a reason why it's not going to work. That's a lot of the problem that I have. I looked at those straps that they make for SUVs for rod holders. The problem is I'm too tall. They're made for people who are like 4 foot nothing. How does that work? Why did, fat and tall people, we have it rough. We have it rough, man. They don't make anything for us. You ever seen like the shirts? You go to try and buy a shirt for a fat and tall guy, and it's like one of them, it's like the man's version of a Hawaiian muumuu. Seriously? Unbelievable. Then you want to order something online, right? And you're like, oh, look, they got 5X tall. And then you get it, and it's like, their definition of 5X tall is like 2XL short.
Cat Claus says headed to the lake with the boat today to swim in a little bass fishing. Haha, yes, I said bass fishing. Cross the Streams asks, could you mount them to the roof somehow on the inside?
I could. No, that's the problem. I had them on the roof, and they reached down and they smacked my head when I'm driving. That's the issue. So if you guys have some suggestions, get in my Discord, put it in the general. A lot of them I probably already tried, but if you guys have a good deal, for an SUV rod holder. The thing is, I don't like them laying on the floor because you throw something in there.
OG
And
says just do your paracord trick.
I did that. The problem is it hangs too low in here. It's not like, see, the van, it didn't come all the way over the driver's seat. It worked epic in the van because in the van, in that back, what I did is I drilled holes out. There's a wooden compartment in there where the vents originally went through, and I took a hole saw and I drilled those out and I put them in there, and then I used the paracord to push up against the guide to keep them in there. And it was absolutely perfect. I don't have that option in here. Not to mention the van had way more headroom. Way more headroom. The other van is currently... Jeepers, man. Look at the flies. Wow. They're like everywhere. The other van is currently at Imes, but there's... No, sorry.
Cat Claus asks PVC tubes.
Well, then I have to take the reels off every time. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm streaming IRL. She's probably wanting to battle. She's a battle streamer. That was the other thought, is I could mount PVC tubes to the roof, but then I got to take the reels off every time. And when you only get a couple hours a night to fish, it's like you got to figure out what you're going to fish for right away. I will be making a video later on today. People have been asking me how I make my pack bait. So I will make a video of that. I'll get it posted up on the Lube Tube and the Instagrams and all that stuff. I'll get that posted up for y'all. Get it on the TikTok. So it's real simple. It's not anything special. I mean, literally, I learned it from everybody else, but apparently...
Cat Claus says why I like two-piece rods.
I hate two-piece rods. I hate the fact that they come apart. I don't know how many times out fishing my rods have come apart, either while catching a fish or casting.
Dash asks what about the other van?
It's just sitting there. He hasn't had time to it. He hasn't had time to get to it. I'm kind of at his mercy on that one when he gets to it. I didn't make an appointment for it, so, and we know it's going to be something with the wiring. Marie, what's happening? Good to see ya.
Dash says gotcha.
Is it Marie or Mary? I always call you Marie. I don't know why I do that. Make sure I'll give her a follow if you're on the TikTok. Well, I understand.
OG says L. That should
out.
be interesting to watch. If it's more than dumping 2 cans of panko and a can of corn into a 1-gallon Ziploc bag, you are putting too much effort into it.
Okay. There's lots of people that do way more than that. So it's Marie. Okay. I got
Cat
it.
Claus says Whisker Seeker rods I have are 2-piece caught my biggest cats on, never once have had them come apart.
Oh, I'm a Hellcat guy.
They are my rods I use now when I have limited space when traveling.
I will make room for my Hellcats.
OG says that's what I find so funny.
I mean, there's no right or wrong way to do it. There's people out there, I mean, if that's the case, then we're all doing it wrong, because there's people out there literally fishing with just corn on a hook or a hot dog on a hook, and they're catching carp. We're all doing it wrong if that's the case. We're all way overdoing it. We literally throw corn out there. You know? That's the number one issue is everybody thinks that their way is the right way, but that's not true. It may work for you, but other people's way works for other people. You know, just like people tell me I have too much or not enough for my streaming stuff.
OG says hot dog on a hook. I'ma slap a hoe.
Yeah, literally. Are you living under a rock, man? Don't you ever watch the Lube Tube?
Cat Claus says I do get it. I can't catch a carp with just corn on a hook.
I probably could out here if I wanted to sit and wait long enough. Anyways, Marie, how you doing this morning? Welcome to my live stream. I have, if you go to roncleveland.tv, the TTS you're hearing
Mob
is on my Twitch stream.
18,021,987 says we catch CSRP and cats on hot dogs. Mob 18,021,987 says carp.
I mean, it's carp aren't overly, no fish is overly complicated. I remember catching sunfish on corn. You know, when they used to be right by the dock, my grandpa used to take us out there with a can of corn, and we'd go out there, and that's how we fished carp. We didn't go out and dig up worms for sunfish. You just used a piece of corn. You know, that's the, it's whatever you want to do to increase your probability. Now, carp are very scent driven. So, you know, there's certain things that you can do as attractant. It's just like anything you're out fishing.
OG says that's a damn shame. Wasting a perfectly good hot dog.
There's some that are in the shape of hot dogs that shouldn't be classified as hot dogs. That's all I'm gonna say.
Mob 18,021,987 says in EU we also use cheese to catch sturgeons.
Wow. Yeah, that's a new one. I haven't heard of that one. Really the for me it's, I like the carp fishing in the part that it's like hunting.
The one and only Mahler says I used it for rainbow and brown trout corn is great.
Willie, what's happening?
Cat Claus says, well, just got to the circus, I mean overpopulated lake.
Yeah. That's about what it's probably going to be for me tonight, but I'll wiggle my way in somewheres. Camera seems to annoy a lot of people. And TTS, and I've got some really good sound alerts that work for that. It's
Aviraz says new here and I know nothing about fishing, but I've used some wild stuff to catch crab down in Maryland as a kid.
Oh, right on.
Dash says I caught many sunfish and bullheads on kernel corn in my youth.
I mean, that's how we grew up. You know, it was, if corn was coming close to season, then we used to just go out and grab a cob of corn, and my grandpa would shuck it, and that's how we go out.
Cat Claus says have a good one, brother. I'll check in little later.
10-4. I'll be out fishing tonight, later on this afternoon and tonight. But right now it's just.
Cat Claus says good luck today.
Thank you. Oh, really? Damn.
Sinistubborn says what's up, Ron?
So what's happening? Somebody give that man a shout out. Make sure you give Cat Claus a shout out too, please. Sorry. Exclamation point CC for the shout out on Cat Claus. Give Sinistubborn. Sorry, I've been in your stream, man, in quite a while, but my job and everything, I don't get to do a whole hell of a lot.
Sinistubborn says nice dungaree.
Whatever a dungaree is, but we'll go with it. So there's like garbage in here because, like, even when I go fishing with people, my truck is kind of the catch-all. That's the, you know, I've got carp fishing stuff in here. I've got bass fishing stuff in here. I've got walleye fishing stuff in here.
Ty.Durden71 says I grew up using waxies or leeches. Not much corn use. Sinistubborn says good to see ya, man. Missed ya. Hope you are doing awesome.
Oh, absolutely. Just working a lot, working on my social media stuff as much as possible. I got into waxworms when I was probably 14.
Barracan says oh shit Dash is telling stories from his youth when him and Jesus used to tie tree fibers to a stick to fish with a hook carved out of a stone. Cinestubborn says dungaree is that denim thing you are wearing.
Oh, they're overalls, dude. Welcome in, everybody, on the old Tic Tac. What you are hearing is TTS from my Twitch channel. I tried doing the restream so you guys could get involved in this, but apparently TikTok said no. TikTok doesn't like that. They want you to stream on theirs and theirs alone. So I had to set up a second phone so I could stream on theirs and theirs alone. So if you guys like, you can check out roncleveland.tv. And if you want to set up your Twitch account, it's free. It's absolutely free. You can get on here and come check out Ron Cleveland on Twitch also, and you can get involved in this. The TTS is completely free. So you guys come over and shoot the breeze. The reason I use TTS is because usually I get involved in a project and I can't always keep up with the chat. And as you guys know, on the old Tic Tac, it likes to do the drive-bys. And as it does the drive-bys, you know, I lose your chat. So if I don't see what you type in, make sure that you retype it when I'm looking. Even if you got to retype Ron 500 times. Apologize for that, but that's why I have TTS. That's why I didn't usually stream on Tic Tac, because I don't have, over on Twitch, I have all the fancy bells and whistles.
Cinestubborn exclaims, thanks for shootout. The one and only Mahler says dungaree is a brand that are known for them.
Oh, well, here it would be Oshkosh Bagosh would probably be the number one, because they had the old striped overalls. But these are keys. Keys are low, or are easy to get access to here. I've had the Dickies. I've had the Carhartts.
OG says Ron. OG says Ron. OG says Ron. Cinestubborn says shout out, not shootout LMAO. OG says Ron. OG says hi.
Fucking OG. You're not on Tic Tac, OG. You're abusing the TTS, OG. Thank you for the likes on the Tic Tac. Appreciate y'all.
Barracan says I feel a blacklist coming. OG says shit. Sorry.
You're a mess, dude. So let me get this put away, so that way at least I can grab another one and make an attempt. I'm gonna have to get 2 microphone systems now. I have one for the TikTok, one in the TikTok shop I want to try. So that means I'll have to get a second set of microphones. Don't forget, if you guys, whether you're on the Tic Tac or the Twitch or the Kick, if you guys donate cash, I use that for fuel and bait money. So I appreciate you, Nate. What's happening? Come on in, grab a seat, sit down. Right now, my paracord is my tool hanger.
Barracan says just means you need to submit a support ticket or something and bitch to them.
Well, why haven't you done that yet? You know how to word that stuff better than I do. What am I supposed to say?
OG
Hi,
says,
my name's Ron.
actually,
I'm a
I
dumb
think
hillbilly.
you can just get a second receiver.
Yeah, but I got to get a second receiver and then all the extra cords that go with it too. I don't know. Either way, I don't have the money for it right now. We're going to need that later on today. It's getting to be close to that time of year. I think the water temperatures are changing quite a bit, so it's getting to be that time of year where a feller's gonna probably be doing a lot of carp fishing. The weeds have gotten very pertinent. I mean, yeah, I could go out and catch a northern here or there if I want to be on minnows, but with minnows being, $3 and some change a scoop, it's like I can make a lot of carp bait for that. So, and the thing is, as long as I can keep getting my same fishing spot for carp, we'll be able to build one hell of a plot, and maybe the bigger ones will start coming in. I don't want to keep changing lakes chasing carp. I'd like to just get a good food plot built up, and if I can make it a point to get out there every night and keep this plot built. So that's where I need your help. Yeah, ! socials, or go to roncleveland.tv, and my Venmo and PayPal link are on there. If you guys would like to contribute to the fuel
Dash
expenses,
says the bigger lake between us hit 80 water temp last weekend.
yeah, so the water temps
TY
up.
Durden 71 says shads around weed lines for those northern this time of year is where it's at.
Now, out here, northerns aren't real. They're not too hard to catch, but they're just sporadic. And to fish all day to catch one northern, once I know I get a food plot set up for carp, they'll just keep coming in. Carp will always return to where they find food. They will always return where other fish like northerns, walleyes, things like that will chase food around. So say like shads, or out here we have shiners. They'll start chasing them shiners around. So when them shiners start moving out to the outer edge of the weed line, or places like that, then what they'll do is they'll stay out there. So then you're going to start fishing deeper. And where carp, they don't care if their backs are hanging out of the water to find food. They'll come find it. But the nice thing is we have found that last year, once I got my food plot built up, the panfish will come in, and even at night the walleyes will come in chasing the panfish around. So it's a full process. It's just a matter of getting people to stay the hell out of my spot. The worst is when you drive by there and it's people who watch your stream. That's when it's the worst. Because it's like, all right, well, I appreciate you. I mean, good looking out, I guess.
TY Durden 71 says stream snipers lol.
Yeah. I literally posted up the one walleye I caught on a tube jig, and the next night, people that were watching there's some people that are in my Discord and on my social media. They were all over that spot for the next 3 days. It's like that. It was a very random catch. So I hope you're happy that you wasted your time. Just saying. But what do I know?
Ruger wife says you love it when I stream SNYPU.
There's my youngin'.
OG says don't look at me. I'm not stream sniping you until next week.
Yeah.
Loftcon says Ron, been a lurker for a long time. Appreciate what you do. Great streams. Keep getting it, bro.
Thank you. Well, I've slacked on a lot of things just because I don't know what it is. The last couple of weeks, my body has just been on this shutdown mode. Like I've been really, really stupid tired when I get home. And I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm getting older, but my body's been on this shutdown mode as far as like I get home and by 5 or 6 o'clock at night, I'm ready to go to bed. I'm ready to be out cold. The one night I came home, fell asleep at 6 o'clock. I woke up for like an hour and then was back to sleep until 4 o'clock in the morning when my alarm went off. If you know anything about me, that's not my normal thing. 4 or 5 hours, I'm normally up and running for the day. And for whatever reason, the last few weeks, it's just been insane for me.
OG says it's the heat and lack of water.
Oh, I drink plenty of water. That I promise you. Water is not lacking for me. Water is a life-saving thing for me.
Lofcon says I've been suffering the same. Maybe the heat.
I mean, I'm not in the heat a whole lot for work. I forgot I had this at Matt Olson's. This is my combo. And I'm thinking I might wonder what if this would make I don't know how it casts. I've never cast it. I've used it for a trolling rod. It's a line counter reel. It's the Magna by Okuma. It's a 2000 series reel, but I'm wondering how this thing would work for carp fishing. I gotta remember how to even use this stupid thing. Oh. So you take that. That's gotta be awe. Okay. I mean, it really doesn't matter. My other one works really good too. This one won't light up as nice, so we'll stick with the other one. This will just be a backup in case somebody wants to come carp fishing with me. And of course, we still have Big Bertha. You know, she's always sitting on the sideline ready to go. Yeah, I was like, even yesterday, it's like I was gonna go out streaming. Then the neighbors came over, and it's like by the time, and I talked to Barricade on the phone a little bit, but even as I was talking to him, as I was unloading some stuff, I was just ready to be done. Yeah, so we'll hang this one up. We're gonna need that one today. Old Half-Assed Adventures was supposed to get a hold of me last night. Got some homemade donuts here for him from another TikToker known as Bree. And she brought me over some homemade sourdough donuts, baked. I mean, they're not like 100% healthy, but they're way healthier than donuts you buy anywhere else. They're done in cocoa butter or coconut butter, and I don't know, they're pretty good. Trying to get all my spinning reel setups put away first. That's the other thing too, is I'm just gonna have to learn to do a master reset on some of this stuff.
OG asks Bree spelled B-R-E?
Yes. Uh-oh. OG's Facebook stalking. TikTok stalking. She's good people. She likes to jump into live streams, and then she's usually baking. I know her personally. And she's good people. She's been introducing me to a lot of people on TikTok. this next week, depending on the weather, we're gonna have to the tenants for the Airbnb, I believe, are moving out.
OG
So,
says I had a new follower named that.
well, my precious. My original intention this weekend was to go down to the river and do some catfishing. That was my 100% original intention, and then with the heat coming in, Pigpen was happening.
Cursed
Good to see you, brother.
Escapism says hello all.
Howdy. So as you guys know, I'm in the turkey business. I live haul turkeys. So when it gets really, really hot and humid, it is very dangerous for animals. Extremely dangerous. So it's all hands on deck.
Loftcon says fried catfish preemie bro.
Absolutely. The thing is
Loftcon says tasty.
very good. The thing is my wife's position in the company. She is on, when those happen, she is on call 24/7, and I inadvertently become her backup. I become her backup, so that way if she's doing something and she needs something, or my bosses need something, they can call me, and they know I'm close by the shop, and it's not a mandatory thing that I have to do. I can go do what I want, and they'll just deal with it. Otherwise, I just choose to make myself readily available because I've worked on in many different aspects of this business, and I know what it's like when you need people and there's nobody around, if that makes sense. And I don't do it for any type of whatever. I do it more so for the birds. Regardless, at the end of the day, they are animals. They're under our care and well-being, and two, they're my bread and butter. It's how I make a living. No birds, no work. No work, no paycheck. No paycheck, no stream. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? The main thing will be after I get done with the stream this morning is to get everything charged up. Make sure we're good to go. Make sure our battery bank's good to go. There's times that I look at my setup and wish I would have never evolved past, a lot of the old guys' setups. They pretty much had one or two fishing rods that did everything. Problem is I got into fishing a lot more hardcore than they did. They would sit at the end of a dock, and what they caught is what they caught, and you better pray to God I don't find my pellets. I don't even know where they're at. You might just get lucky today. I don't know where my pellets are. I know I got some in the house, but it's right by my house. Every time I move them, so that way I know they're readily accessible. I don't know where I moved them to. Story of my life. And it's not like I don't have 15 cans of them, but when I need them, I can't seem to find them, so then I end up buying another can. Because I'm smart like that. Well, looks like he's going to get a free pass today, because I'm not going to stress it out. Boy. We might have to bring the old generator and the fan out there today. We just might have to do that. Bring the big 20-inch fan out there and we're hanging out at the lake today. Where's Billy at? Billy, I need a weather forecast, man. What's it going to be like at like 6 o'clock tonight? Maybe even a little earlier. Damn it, Billy. And I'm one of them guys.
Jake says, good morning, Ron.
What's happening, Jake? I'm one of those guys, too, that I like to have all my fishing gear with me all the time. I don't know if any of y'all are like that, but I like to have all my fishing gear with me all the time because then no matter what, I could fish for whatever. And that's how I end up in this predicament.
Jake says, how are you doing today?
I'm doing, Jake. How are you doing?
Jake asks, are you going to be car camping today?
No, I'm going to clean it out the back of the truck so we can go do some fishing tonight. Getting everything hung up in its respective places.
OG says, I'm the same way, Ron. In fact, I still have all my ice fishing gear in my truck.
You guys were with when I cleaned this out from all my ice fishing stuff because I had this grandiose plan.
Jake says hello at oddburnout_Earl.
I had this grandiose plan that, oh, hey, I'm just going to clean this truck out every time I use it. Uh-huh. That's a good plan. Maybe if I had time, it'd be a great plan. And then the one guy's like, you just got to make the time. I said, here's the deal, man. I get off of work. I come home, figure out a streaming plan. I go stream. I park my vehicle. I go in the house. I shower.
OG says hello, Jake.
I shower. And then I go to bed. And I do it all over again. Now, granted, the last couple of weeks have been kind of off because of heat and rain and whatever else, but just so y'all know, if it's really hot, I'm just streaming from my studio. We'll be down in the studio. I'm not about to torture myself. Sorry. I know everybody'd like to see me torture myself and sit out there and sweat for fishing, but I'm not doing that. I'm not going to make myself uncomfortable for streaming purposes. Just so y'all know that. And somewhere in the midst of camping, I seem to have lost a tripod. I must have got hauled in the house inadvertently. It's the only thing I can think of because it's not out here. Unless it's sitting behind this, but I don't think it is. No. I tortured myself enough last weekend. But I'll probably go fishing anyways. I say that, but
Youngin says, FYI, they did it on purpose. I got loads of snap. Now I know what they were being asked Secret Squirrel about on Shane's stream 2 nights ago. OG says today is supposed to be 89 and humid for me. So I can assume it will be the same-ish for 2. OG says you.
Yeah, I might just bring the fan out. Fire up the old Honda. It needs to be run anyways. Put some gas in the Honda and run it. Why do they always want to think they're doing some sneaky shit? and then post it up later. I don't understand that. We're talking about half-assed adventures. They always got some secret squirrel shit going on, and they think that they're hiding something, but it turns into drama, nonstop drama. Definitely want that. Oh, that's right. That doesn't clip over very easy, so we just stick that through. Boobers? Lots of boobers. Unfortunately, it never seems to be the size I want when I fish in certain ways. I gotta learn to be the fish with what I got and not what I want kind of guys. I'll say that is one of my biggest problems in life when it comes to fishing. I have a definite problem with that. I'm one of them guys that will go buy stuff to catch fish. And I've been a lot better about it
Youngin
lately.
says, I'll catch y'all later, though. Have a good day.
10-4. Let's see. Oh, yeah, there's a bobber laying right there. Two more. I've been getting better at it. Like, there's some stuff I re-up on, like certain hooks that I use every year. But I haven't gone bonzo and buying plastics. I haven't gone bonzo and buying a whole bunch of stuff. Ice fishing, I still got to get over it. But I start chasing lures and things like that. And stuff's just getting really expensive. You know, you're talking an ice fishing jig and they want, $11 for two of them. There's days sometimes I wonder if I should just sell all of my shit and find something else to do, because fishing it used to be, everything that used to be a poor man's sport after COVID is no longer a poor man's sport. Sure, you can go buy cheap gear and you might be able to get out fishing, but you're constantly replacing that cheap gear. And I mean constantly, to the point to where you should have just bought the good one to begin with. That's what I don't understand. And I mean, I'm not talking like, I should be able to go out and just buy everything I need for fishing for $20 and it should be good. It's, you look at a simple bobber, a damn bobber is $8. You buy the cheap ones, and as people have found out, you buy the cheap ones, yeah, you can get a bobber for, $3-4, but they crack, they break. The sinker hits them like the slip bobbers, the cheap slip bobbers. I went through like 4 of them this year because they broke. Well, at that rate, I should have just bought the $8 one. Well, then when that one breaks and you break a couple of them because it takes them longer to break, but they break, well, now you're paying $16 for a damn bobber, and it's like, this is ridiculous. Makes you want to move closer to the river. That's still cheap. River fishing is still cheap. River fishing is still by far way cheaper than any other type of fishing you can do. You can get a top of the line setup.
OG asks, I've noticed on your recent bobber fishing adventures that you were not using those new clip-on bobbers.
Yeah, it was.
Did you find a flaw?
The only thing I've found as far as a flaw is the bobber stops. That's kind of my only thing with them. And that, honestly, the ones that I bought were too big. They're supposed to be the smalls, and they just, or sometimes I didn't buy a variety of sizes, which I should have done. But I do use them. It all depends on what lake I'm on. As a matter of fact, there's actually one on the bobber rod now that I was using the last time we were out. Otherwise, I'm a fan of them. I especially ice fishing. Ice fishing, you can't beat them. I couldn't think of a better bobber stop setup for ice fishing, because all of a sudden you need to drop your line down. You just unclip this bobber and take it off, and you're ready to rock. And it's zero abrasion to the line. Do the bobber stops wear out fairly quick? They do, especially if you're adjusting them a lot. They're even on like fluorocarbon or monofilament, which is what they're actually designed for. They're not the best, but they're not any worse than the strings. The only difference is with the strings you can retighten them, where these you can't. But at the same point in time, I also found out if you put a BB with a string, the slip lock still works really, really good. So as far as the bobber itself, absolutely love it. I don't know that I would invest in the bobber stops again. I'd probably just do the string and deal.
OG says, I bought 2 sets of each. I love them.
You go out and piss pound them for a day, you'll start finding things that you don't like about them. You go out and literally work the piss out of them all day long and bouncing from lake to lake. I didn't just sit at one. I don't just usually sit at one lake when I'm bobber fishing. If they're not hitting, I move. That's one of the advantages to having, as many fishing holes around as I do. So I need to be more prevalent. The one old guy says, why don't you just sit somewheres? You'll catch fish eventually. Just sit there. I have no idea who you are. I'm not co-hosting anybody this morning on TikTok because I'm dual streaming. So it's nothing personal. Yeah, the bobber stops are probably about the only thing that I have an issue with. And I don't like the fact that they wear out as fast as they do. And they do wear out fairly quickly. You start adjusting heights, or you get caught in a guide on accident or whatever, and it don't take much, and they're pretty well shot. Where the string ones, if you leave just enough tail out, you can retighten them. There's this stringer. Where's my other one?
Pigpen Outdoors says rocket bobbers and Thill slip bobbers is my go-to.
These slip lock bobbers are amazing as far as the bobber itself, because if you need, where I really like them, or where they really excelled in my book, and I don't know where that came from, but okay. Where the slip lock bobbers got me is the fact that you can take them off in an instant. You don't have to cut your line. So I bought them for ice fishing. Wanda, good to see you. I bought them for ice fishing because it's like, sometimes you get crappies and they'll come into schools. Sometimes they're right on the bottom or they're right on the top, and you need to adjust your line. Instead of moving that bobber stop real quick, you can pull it off, drop it down on the graph, hit that stuff on the bottom, but then not lose your regular height where you're catching them. It's in that, and you can leave them on, and if you want to change out jigs, or if you want to go to jigging to doing whatever else, it eliminates the need for good to see you. It eliminates the need for constant switching out bobbers and bobber sizes and things like that. I absolutely loved it ice fishing. I have zero complaints about it for ice fishing. None.
Pigpen Outdoors says niece. I'll check them out.
OG could probably post you up a link real quick. I've used them quite a bit, especially before opener. I used them a lot, and I used them a lot ice fishing after I got them. Overall, I like them. There's supposed to be a new bobber stop set up for them. I just haven't gotten them yet. So I'm going to definitely be testing that out as soon as the opportunity arises.
Rotax says I need to work on 3D printing bobbers if they go for that much money.
Well, the ones that go for that much, I can show you them actually. These are the money ones. And I really like these. These are the money ones. My light up bobbers. These are like 18 bucks a piece. So this is the Gamakatsu light up bobber. I like the metal end, the metal lead, so it causes it to fly straight. But then you unscrew this, you flip the battery around, and this is one of the brightest bobbers I've ever had.
TY71 says I still like the neon ties. They help know where the bottom is if I'm not using a bobber or hummingbird.
Well, the slip lock, the slip lock is the same thing, but only it's a crimp on. It's a crimp on bobber stop. Come on, what's happening? Thank you for becoming a member of the fan club. These, by far, are my favorite nighttime fishing bobbers. You can't beat these. They're worth the money. They're expensive. They are well worth the money. I will tell you that. If you've got where you've got to cast out and get some range, or if you have like semi-windy chop or whatever the case may be, those Gamakatsus, these light up bobbers with the metal ends on them, they're worth the money. And I do have a smaller, I actually have the first gen version of it, the smaller one, before it had the metal tips on them. And that's how I got into them. And the small one still works good. I just don't like this setup here. I usually end up I forgot to take this one off because I haven't used the small setup for quite a while. But this will actually go on my pan fishing rod. But I'll be running this in the same manner. And like I said, my reason is because they are stupid bright. There's no losing them bobbers. None. Frog. Rub it. Well, there was still a bottle of water left in there. So carp fishing, we definitely need our bucket. Oh, it was 20 bucks. That's what I paid for that. Here it is. Show you guys the price tag. I fish. Oh, thank you for the puff hearts or heart puffs. Thank you. Thank you. Whatever. I'm a multi-species fisherman.
Pigpen
Tonight we'll be fishing
Outdoors
for
says
carp.
that's good because I'm old lol.
Yeah. It all depends on where I'm at as far as what I fish for. It can be like tonight we'll be fishing for carp. I'll be back on later on today. You guys will be able to come in and hang out. I'm just getting prepped for it. I wanted to get on this morning, give some equipment a test run. I'll get everything charged up. I have to go get new interweb stuff for my house here in about an hour. They open at 10 o'clock, so I got to go and disconnect all my internet stuff. Because after running my speeds the other night, I called them and said, "Hey, this ain't right." They're like, "Yeah, we've updated some equipment." I said, "Imagine that. Don't send out any emails. Don't send out, but you're more than happy to send me an email out if I got a bill to pay, or if you have some new promotion. But don't send me that there's updated equipment, that you're having problems with the old stuff." Drives me bonkers. And tonight, for dinner on the shoreline.
Rotax says they never tell you systems are upgraded. OG says don't buy them from Mama, On, or any other place. Go directly to their website. URL.
Yeah, I made the mistake of buying my first batch off Amazon, and you will pay 4 times the amount on Amazon. You know what I'm going to do? Where is one of those little containers? Instead of messing around with that, where's one of them boxes? Living in a box. Living in a cardboard box. We living in a box. Oh, that's a spinnerbait box. Well, guess I didn't realize I had 2 of them.
Rotax says, oh dang, I could print slip lock bobbers, I think no problem.
So what I'm going to do is when I just start throwing random shit in here, I'm just going to throw it in this box, and then when the end of the day, or whenever I got time.
Rotax says just need to design it or find files.
Yeah, these are the slip locks. So basically, what it does is that's the cartridge.
Rotax says bobber with groove and rotating rings top and bottom.
Yeah. So these are the refill cartridges, and then what you do is you slide your line in here. Slide your line in these dudes, and you give them a pinch. You give them a pinch, and it locks the line, locks it onto the line. It's actually a good system. It works for the most part. I just move shit around too much. Where's my other stringer? That's what I need to find.
OG says I made a command for the bobber Ron. Slip lock.
Thank you. There it is. Make sure we carry this with. Brittany for Eula. No, we don't have that here. I'm in freshwater country. Yeah, I'm in freshwater country. It's going good. How are you doing? My 9-mile stringer. I needed a stringer one day. And yeah, stopped at the local bait shop and did not realize I was buying a 9-mile long stringer. Oh yeah, I had mine already this morning. We were all about the coffee life. And I kept saying, I need to bring that with. I need to, of course, you know, when I don't have it with, I catch those northerns. And I'm putting them on this little bitty ass stringer. So this box will be my catch-all box. Instead of letting stuff float around the old truck here loosey-goosey, it's just going to be my catch-all. My free pair of scissors that don't work, so I know why they're free. Thank you for the likes on the stream. Appreciate you. Yeah, I found these on the lake shore. I'm like, oh, come up, free pair of scissors. No, not really. They won't even cut your nose hairs. Worthless. Absolutely worthless. Garbage. 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 James, what's happening? I don't know what this Go Popular mission is. It keeps telling me didn't complete Go Popular mission. Whatever. Apparently I'm supposed to be completing some kind of missions. Whatever. Right plan, wrong guy, Tic Tac. Jigs. Other side. Those crappy jigs there. Crappy jigs. Those go in there. I can take one of these. So if you guys want to see what we're talking about, slip lock bobbers. Morning, James. Appreciate that. I didn't see what that is. Oh, coffee. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Appreciate that. So these are the slip lock bobbers. So it's got a slit in the side here, and then it's got a cam lock system where they come down, and then what you do is you just put your line in it and then slide it over, so you don't have to take it off your line every time, or you don't have to cut all your lures off to take the bobber off, which is nice. Backwood Squat, what's happening? It's a nice setup. I really like them. And they are the slip lock bobbers. Just so y'all know, I'm streaming on both Twitch, TikTok, and Kick. The TTS that you hear, the automated voices, that is coming from Twitch. If you guys want to get involved in that, go to roncleveland.tv and click on my socials link there and get on Twitch. It's free to set up. You want to get involved in that over there, hang out. Yeah, or otherwise you can hang out wherever you want to hang out. I have a hard time sometimes keeping up with the chat on TikTok. That's why I have TTS. TTS is free. So if you want to get involved in a conversation, either one, just retype it on the old TikTok, or two, just get over here on Twitch and type it in and I'll hear it. I have to get another microphone system for the TikTok now because apparently TikTok says, oh, you can't multi-stream with all our shit. Whatever. Grow up, TikTok. Grow up. Get it together, TikTok. Get it together. Grow up. And now it's going to ask for the damn computer chip. Or the puzzle piece. Here, will you put your puzzle piece in? Sure, here you go. Now I got to muck you out on my screen because it wants me to drag the puzzle piece in place.
Boss lady says morning all.
Morning, boss lady. I mean, what is the deal? Why the puzzle? TikTok, listen to me. Why the puzzle piece? I'm literally sitting. You're AI driven. You can see my face. You have my face. You're selling my data. How do you not know that it's me? Why the puzzle piece? Good night. You can see that it's a live moving image. Wah! I know what I miss in my line cutters. Yeah, this is what I deal with. It doesn't matter. Twitch is the same thing. They all have their little fits. Oh, we're all fighting against each other. Well, that's too bad. The people that are making your platform what it is need some money. So let us stream to everything and let everything work on everything. You're still making money. People are still subscribing. I mean, over here I got James sending me good mornings. I mean, for real. I made a little bit of money. You made a lot of bit of money. But either way, you still made money. So let me do my thing. We'll all make money together. I know your business. You got to make money. I get it. But let me make some money. Hey. Not that anybody in TikTok world is listening to me. Or Twitch world. But hey. Now that we got that figured out. Right, right. Everybody happy? Capiche? No capiche? Capiche, I'm a big girl now. Direct reference to the show Full House. If you were a Full House fan growing up, you know what I'm talking about. If you're not, sit and be confused.
Dash says listening is overrated. Just ask my wife.
Nope. Not getting in the middle of that one. No. Nope. I'm still hanging on to one. I'm not gonna put it out here on stream, but what I got. All I got to say is warranty. Warranty. This is gonna be great. Oh, there's the forceps I had to buy for when we were out fly fishing. That's good. It's always good to have a good pair of forceps. Although my cold snap picks have been doing very, very well. Pow, ba-da-pow. Oh, release. Auto parts. Ow! There it is. Whoop, there it is. Thought you knew. Whoop, there it is. Whoop, there it is. Whoop, there it is. If you were a legitimate fisherman and you don't have one of these yet, you gotta be nuts. These things are legit. I know you see the little Facebook ads all the time, and of course most things you see on Facebook are garbage. But this, that's legit. These line cutters, yeah. So if you guys go on and go to Line Cutters and go get one of these, make sure you tell them you heard about it on Ron Cleveland. These things are legit. I cut 100-pound braid with these things, and they've got they even make a ring one. I don't wear rings, so, but they've got 2 ceramic blades right here for just a quick cut, and then they got the snipper for like fine cutting things off your hooks. I've had this one now. This will be my 3rd year of using this. These things are legit. If you were fishing line cutters, get you some. I'm not even playing with you. Get you some. These things are 100% legit. They work better than any pair of braid scissors you got. I don't care what it is. I will stack these up to whatever you got for line cutters. I've had just about everything you can think of. I've had the fancy scissors, the fancy pliers, the fancy other line cutters. These things are dirt cheap for what they are and what they do. The carabiner clip I put on for myself because I hang it up here in the truck. But the line cutters itself, seriously, y'all got to get one of these. Maybe you just need to cut some like paracord or string at house.
Dash says big lighter. Aviraz says I don't fish, but would love to try it. I live in a great place for it, apparently.
Yeah, like if you're using like line type stuff, I mean the thing is it has a clip on it, right? So like me, because I wear overalls, I'll clip this dude right here. So that way if I'm doing something, it sticks out like this. And then what I'll do is I'll take the fishing line and I'll cut it off so that way I don't have the tension of the pole, and then I'll take the lure and take the clipper and cut it off the lure. That way my lure's clean. I can start over. Here we go. Tie something on different. This thing is legit. Now, I have to ask this. I know the answer already, but maybe you guys can make me feel better about it. So this is a clip. It says it's rated for 60 pounds. 60 pounds, right? But on the other side of said clip, it says not for climbing. Not for climbing. They put 60 pounds, really big, on the other side. But then they have to put on the other side, not for climbing.
Ruddy Brick asks, is this an infomercial?
No, it is not. But I like to get people on good products. Things that I use, I legitimately use. And there's a lot of people who follow me that, you know, I don't get paid. I'm not sponsored by anybody. You know, I'm not sponsored by anybody, but the thing is, if I can put out good things to make your fishing experience or daily life better, I'm going to. That's what I do. You know. Oh, this is why I hate using my regular phone for doing anything.
Ruddy Brick says, I was just hoping that ShamWow was next, that's all. Ruddy Brick says, I love that guy.
No, the I've always been one of those types of people on my streams. If I learn about something good and it's something somebody else could use, I tell everybody. I tell everybody. You know, just like fishing products, camping products, regular everyday products that I use. You know.
Dash says, apparently the line cutter ring is supposed to go on the rod, not your finger.
Oh, well, everybody I've seen uses it on their finger, but I definitely wouldn't have it on my rod. Nope, I'm good. That'd be one of them fatful moments. We got our new dining room table sitting, well, not dining room. We got a 2-person kitchen table, wing table that I bought. I got a lady that cleans out estates, and I've been trying to find we don't have a very big house. It's not really big at all, and we don't have a lot of space in there, but my wife and I really, for years, we haven't had any type of a table to sit at and eat in our house.
Rotax says, yeah, fiddle with line cutter and boob line is cut and lure is gone.
Yeah. My thing is we've been wanting one just so we could sit at and you know, when we have bigger dinners and things like that, and then maybe occasionally have some company or whatever. Our house isn't big enough to host a lot of people, so we don't, you know, unless we're able to sit outside on the deck, we typically don't host a whole lot of people. Our old house, we used to. Our old house was huge. We had a 10-place dining room table set, and we could host a lot of people there. But, you know, being as it's just the two of us, unless we're doing something outdoors or outside, it's pretty hard to host people in our house. Which way is this stuff coming out of? It's moving almost directly out of the west. A little out of the south, but almost directly out of the west.
Boss Lady says, rain incoming.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. My bungee cords, my carp sling. Put the carp sling in the bucket. Oh, look there. Found a root beer. Nothing better than finding a soda you forgot you had. I don't do the sugar sodas very often, but when I do, it's you know, something like a Barks root beer. I think that's everything. Well, this can come out. I don't need any of this in here. I'm leaving this box in here just because of the fact that that's my catch-all box. What do we got going on over here? They're quiet. Too quiet. Where is everybody? So one of the things that I don't understand about the Tic Tac, right, is they're always like encouraging people to like the stream. And what I mean is like you can hit the screen a million times and you can get like 5 million likes on there, and it's like, well, what is the purpose? Don't mind if I do.
John says I am back.
About damn time.
The root fly underscore explains that you're hunting wrong.
We're hunting Rons. Mm-hmm. Good luck. The only time you catch a Ron is when he wants to be caught. My slime cat. Been a good carp rod. I'm gonna have to clean it again. Boy, this thing is getting gross.
Trey says, what are we talking about? I am late.
We're talking about investment
John
opportunities.
says spent 2 weeks in the hospital.
What are you doing there? Why? Just rub some sand in it, dude. Shake it off. Starting to rain. See, now if I go right to the center console, that's where it sticks out. Right there. Just barely.
The
so.
Luthfly underscore asks, we going fishing or are we yard bowling?
No, we'll be fishing tonight. I have to.
John says they opened up a blockage in my hip.
You sound like they're using you for like a science experiment. It's starting to sprinkle, by the way. Starting to sprinkle. It's sprinkling. And of course, the Cat Claws rod holders. Exclamation point CC. Go to roncleveland.tv. Get a direct link. Use code RCO10 at checkout. Get 10% off.
John says sometimes I feel like one.
And the only reason I even put out the RCO10 is because Adam makes me. I just want to make that very clear. I would rather not use a discount code because I don't want any credit for anything, but he makes me do it.
Trey asks, can they send to Africa?
Yeah, if you're willing to pay the shipping. Send it anywhere. Our net. And then we're going to sit back in here and see if the rain flies. See, like, maybe that's what I should do. I should just, look at this. Look at how simple this is, y'all. Look at how simple the back of this truck is just going carp fishing. That's it. That's all I need for carp fishing. Net, fishing pole, bucket for feed, bucket for rinsing my hands off. Maybe I should just stay carp fishing. Anybody want to buy a whole bunch of bass gear? I got a ton of it. That's what I should do. Just stick to carp fishing. I could sell all my bass gear and have carp fishing bait for like 2 years. Look Look at how simple that is. Now I put my streaming gear back there.
Trey says more of a salt fisherman myself.
Yeah, we've got one saltwater lake in Minnesota, and I don't know that it has any fish in it. I think it does. Not a lot. Look at how simple that is. Is that crazy or what?
Rotax says I figured you were going catfishing at the evening tourney.
I didn't know there was an evening tourney.
Duluth Fly _ exclaims we do? Which one is it? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I forgot the name of it. We researched it once. I think maybe it was Rotax that told me that we had one. I don't know. We ended up going down this rabbit hole on stream. It seems to be very prevalent for waterfowl more than anything else. So, I'm gonna hang out with you guys in here.
Rotax says I saw it on Walleye's Discord. Soggy's Town maybe.
My morning monster, because I haven't had that yet. I had my coffee, but I haven't had my... I haven't had tuna fish all week, so my knees are hurting pretty bad. Just got it yesterday, so I'm getting back in that routine. They were actually sold out of it at the store.
Rotax says H-Town.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, I forgot who brought that up, but we ended up looking it up. Because I said that there's no salt water in Minnesota, and somebody corrected me on it. It's like, yeah, there's a saltwater lake in Minnesota.
Duluth Fly _ says ironically it's called Salt Lake.
Yeah. Farmer Trucker, what's happening? Good to see you. Good morning, sir.
Trey says lol.
So I figured out...
Boss Lady says it's called Salt Lake.
Thank you. So I figured this out, right? On TikTok, up next to my name is a heart. I'm like, what is this heart for? It's how you become part of somebody's fan club.
Rotax says the Lesser Salt Lake.
I was like, I started having to think about this. I was like, now watch. Now that I packed everything up, I will show you guys this on stream too. This is the ultimate.
Trey asks Tic Tac or TikTok.
Tic Tac. Same thing. Ultimate carp bait mixer. Just want y'all to know that. If you want to see it in action, check out my Tic Tac video. But ultimate mixer. Works better than a concrete mixer. Works better than anything else. This thing works perfect. Go to your local dope fiend, whoever. Go grab his roach clipper and just, use it for mixing carp bait.
Rotax says hemostat abuse.
Sir, I would like to point out the fact that when I purchased that one, it was a hook removal tool. Just so you know. Or fishing forceps, to be exact, in a big giant bulk Rapala bucket.
Trey
at the runnings.
exclaims Technologia.
I'd like to point that out.
OG says I find hands to be the best.
Nah.
Rotax says doctor wants his tools back.
Tell the doctor I want my money back because he's full of shit. Huh. He can have his forceps back when I get my money back. My wife, she'll grab like Q-tips and stuff out of the doctor's office. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, we got to pay for them anyways. I was like,
Trey
good
says
point.
LMAO.
So anyways, on the Tic Tac.
Boss Lady says
Oh,
lol.
OG, thank you for the heart me. Thank you, thank you. I don't have a lot of people. Oh, I have 14 people in my fan club now with the addition of OG. Thank you. Oh. That other tripod has got to be in the house. I hope I didn't drop it at the campground somewhere. It's just a good possibility. That would suck. I've had that tripod for a long time. That was the first one I ever bought.
John says when I left the hospital, I took a whole bunch of medical garbage. OG says like it better over here.
It's just because you like to hear yourself talk.
Duluthfly_ exclaims so, Ron. I finally got my rod, reel spun, and my pre-stocked tackle box from Bass Pro. Now, it needs to clear up and I can go fishing.
Why you get better fishing when you got overcast and rain, light sprinkles? You'll get way better fishing. Like I want to go fishing now, but I have to go to the cable people, and I was going to go this morning. And then I looked in the back of the fishing truck, and I'm like, oh my Gertie. Yeah, we need to fix that.
Trey says true.
Now, the only thing that'll stink, so tonight, my plan is depending on what the weather's going to do.
OG says louder over there. Birds sound like they are gonna attack.
My plan is...
Duluthfly_ says today I learned, lol.
Yeah. No, when you got overcast days like today, it's one of the best days to go fishing. Because the sun's not beating down in the shallows. The fish will actually move into the shallower parts. The water cools off a little bit.
Trey says birds can try, they.
Cleveland, what are you doing?
Trey says turn into bait.
You ain't even had coffee yet. What are you doing?
I'm loading my car.
What? Goater. Goater. Hello, Tater. Hi, boys. Good morning. Tater doggy. Oh, Lolly broke the luggy loo.
Dash says morning lolly.
Morning.
You didn't even have a cup of coffee yet this morning, did you?
No.
What are you doing?
Things gotta get done, Cleveland.
Hey, do you know where my other tripod went, my silver one?
No, because we both put them right there.
This one was over there. I wonder if I brought it in the house by an accident. I'll find out. I'm only going to be streaming for about another 40 minutes because then I got to I got to unhook all the interweb stuff out of the house and bring it in.
9 o'clock. It's 10 after 9.
They open at 10, dear.
Oh, I thought you said they're only open until 10.
No, they open at 10. The only thing I hate about updating equipment is then you get all new passwords and you have to change everything, and then I have to get a hold of Barrican and we have to do all that stupid shit, and yeah, it sucks. It's horrible. Oh, I gotta grab my laser box. I gotta have him make me a new one before ice fishing too. I should have him make me a new one now. I'll have to get a hold of him. I need a new one. Mine has been pretty well abused. I'm gonna retire it. I was gonna send it to him and have him fix it, but he's got a whole new system. I bought one for my son for Christmas last year.
Dash says I give you props for trying to talk to a wife pre-coffee.
Yeah, I noticed after that I was very limited. We know better. So I've had my other one for years. I think I've had it since. How long have I had that thing? Well, somewhere around since I first started streaming on Twitch, so 5 years I've probably had that thing, and I mean I've been abusive to it. The box failure has nothing to do
OG
with
says
the
I
builder.
just made a 36 Ah battery box to go along with my 200 Ah box.
I've got them 300 amp hour batteries, and I was going to put one of those in one of these Remington totes, and I'm like, I just don't want to carry that around. That thing is freaking heavy. It is ridiculously heavy. And there's nowhere that I really go that I would ever need that much power for any reason. It'll be different once the van is done. Then I can put it in the van, and it'll be set up as the power bank in the van, and then I'll get solar panels on that.
Rotax says that's a nice size AUG. I use my 36 amp hour for drone battery charging now lol.
It'll be a really nice setup in the van, and then after seeing my brother's setup.
Rotax says it's in the standard size plastic ammo can.
I have an 18 amp hour battery is what I use for charging all my stuff. I have an Amped Outdoors 18 amp hour battery is what I use for charging all my equipment, and it works really good. So my brother did the DC to DC charge controller in his truck for all his lithium setup, and literally ran his truck for like a half hour to 40 minutes, and his lithium setup was completely charged. And I was like, that's pretty slick. He doesn't have any, he's solar capable. He's solar capable, but he's like, why would I go through all the work and worry about solar panels when I can literally just idle my truck for a half an hour? And he said, most cases, as long as I keep good track of it, I only got to do it 20 minutes. The whole time we're in Missouri, he idled his truck one time to charge the batteries. I mean, he ran awning lights off of it, had the Ice Cove refrigerator running off of it the whole time. Had his tent lights, recharging phone, recharging his stuff. It was a pretty slick setup. It worked pretty good. So I think that's the way I'm going to go with the van. Is I'm going to do the DC to DC charge controller. I'm not going to worry about solar panels. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do for air conditioning, though. Air conditioning is kind of the previous clapped out minivan. I used to just idle it and let it run because I didn't care. I didn't care if it idled. The thing got oil changes every 4 to 5 weeks, so it's like, and I never had a problem with it. So it's kind of one of them, how do I want to take care of the air conditioning? Because the air conditioners in those vans will freeze you out. Like, even just idling, the air conditioners in that van will freeze you out. So, I don't know, did my speaker die? No. Did TTS decide to take a burp on me? Might have. My newest inverter box is 2 lithium 100 amp hour 1500 watt inverter, a milk crate, still work in progress, but it's running grow tent now. Nice. Well, the nice thing is the 600 amp hours I have in the fish house and the way we have it set up now, thanks to laser beam. That chains don't really.
No, I was just wondering what it was.
So just crush it.
I didn't crush it. You know that.
You crushed it.
No, I did not. I touched it.
That's customers. Yeah, I'm pretty sure once I get the van and I get it all set up, I don't think I'm going to do the solar panels in it just because I won't need it.
Rotax
Vanessa,
says nice August.
thank you for the heart,
Basically what
me.
I got set up.
Yeah, after seeing my brother set up, and I mean this guy's out in this his overlanding setup a lot. I mean, he goes and he hunts. You know, he goes out to Colorado, goes hunting, goes fishing quite a bit. I mean, they literally took this truck and went all the way up to Canada and back, and camped all the way through. Been to Montana, been to all these other places. So it's like I really trust his setup because it's gotten used a lot, and every bit of his overlanding setup has been hand built. He is he's hand fabricated his rack. This is the second rack. Hand fabricated it. The only thing that was pre-manufactured was he got the deck box in there, which if you're doing an overlanding truck, that thing is like a must-have. The organization in it is unreal, and that's one of the things that I want to work on with the van is having the organizational stuff set up. And then I'm going to try and get Lolly a different car tent. I found one that I think would better suit. Maybe. It's inflatable. It's an inflatable car tent, which means it's very easy to set up. But after we talked to Rotax when we were out there, he said you got to have like 90% screenage. And that's what this one has. It has a 90% screenage set up all the way around, where it's floor to ceiling screen, so that way you can open it up. But then when you open it up, you can either roll the windows up from the outside, and you can or you can strap them out to be an awning. Which, believe you me, we learned that if you're tent camping, you're going to need that. What's the matter, dear? Mosquitoes? Oh, she brought out the old mosquito beater. It started to sprinkle a little bit and then it just quit. Oh no, it's still going. It's going again. Yeah, I want to take my time with the van. I'm not going to do the
special, rush everything.
Yeah.
Rotax says I like when they sizzle on the racket. Rotax says pop, snap, pop, crackle.
I want to take my time. I'm going to have it set up so I can use it right away, like the old clapped out minivan. I've already got the bed part of it. I just got to put legs on it. And that part's ready to go. And then I know the basics that I want. It's just setting it up electronically so it works. Like actually putting an RV outlet on the outside of it so I can just plug extension cords into it, run them off a power inverter, instead of just drilling holes through it and running extension cords through. I don't know how much winter camping I'm going to do. I have a diesel heater for it. But really in the wintertime, if I'm out, if I got the ability to be out, I'm in the fish house. So I've been looking at 12-volt air conditioners, but I don't know if that's
North
really...
Hill Live says morning kids.
Morning. I've been looking at 12-volt air conditioners. I just don't know how prevalent they are. The 12-volt rooftop air conditioners. I don't know how well effective they would be in that minivan. I realize the fact that, to haul like fishing gear and things like that, I'm probably going to be pulling a trailer behind me. Lolly and I would like to get a small enclosed trailer eventually just to haul our camping gear so we can just leave our camping gear in there and not have to haul it in and out of the cars all the time. It would just be a lot nicer. Because I've kind of come to terms with the fact that the Subaru is actually absolutely useless in my life. It's nice to drive, don't get me wrong. It is really nice to drive, but it is absolutely useless. We found out going camping, it's hard to pack shit in it. Shit falls everywhere in there. I would have been better off cleaning out the Expedition and taking that, or taking my F-350 and putting a tarp over the box. So it's nice to drive. It's very stupid comfortable to drive. It has nice features, but camping wise, unless you're going to do a rooftop tent and do the overlanding type setup on it, it's worthless. That was the only nice thing, is it was nice to drive. It was nice because we had a nice car down there, so when we wanted to go leave the campsite, we could put the dogs in there, but even the dogs don't really care for the car. They like the cars where the back seats lay out flat and they can sit on the top of them and they can look out the windows. This car, because the seats do skyways when you lay them down. Yeah. It's a nice car, but it's just not. Yeah. Probably going to get it cleaned up this week, post it online for sale. I like my old stuff. I don't buy new stuff as long as it's functional. Like, I find her new car more functional than the Subaru. Even though the Subaru has more options, her Kia is way more functional. Like, she can literally climb in. She did it all weekend. She climbed in the back of it and went to sleep. And as long as she has a now decent fan blowing on her, she's happy. As you all know, as we were streaming, she slept until 11 o'clock in the morning. But she likes that really, really hot shit. It was literally 95 degrees and she's all the way assed out in the back of that car. Out cold. I finally had to wake her up and say, "You gonna get up and for the day? Maybe? Kinda?" She hadn't slept much the night before because she did the thrifty hipster thing, and sometimes it works out for her, but sometimes she just needs to listen to her husband. Her husband went to the old Mickey Nards before we even went because of my previous experiences in 90-degree days. OG and I found out that even his cheap, broken, half-ass broken oscillating fan when we were out river fishing made a world of difference to be able to tolerate 90-plus degree heat. She goes and buys this rechargeable fan off the old Amazon, and here's what she tells me. She says, "Oh yeah, well mine oscillates. It's a fan this big around."
OG asks, did you end up going to the candy shop?
We did.
It was, I mean, it's cool, but
It's cool, but it's like, okay, it's a been there, done that thing.
if you have kids, it's a great place.
But it's not like they have anything like
You can't get
outside of the baked goods there, the fresh baked stuff. There, it's not anything we can't get around here.
and the pop.
Well, we can drive over to Olivia and go get that at Max. Remember, they got that pop section over there. I don't know. It wasn't. It was cool. It was cool to say that you've been there, but it's not like I would make it a point to go out of my way to go there again. And honestly, it was just kind of a nice little detour for a really stupid hot day, because we ended up having to go buy a second fan. Now I have one of those fans in my basement because we've gotten so much water, and I have clay all around my house. It actually outran my River Rock for once. It never, for I don't know how many years now, I've had the River Rock in there, and we don't get anything in the basement, and finally outran it. But I've only had to squeegee it once with this last rainstorm, and I didn't really have to squeegee it. I just wanted to get it to dry out faster. So I squeegeed it yesterday morning, and then today it was completely dried out.
I squeezed it in a couple times.
Oh, did you? But notice the path in front of the fan was completely dry the whole time? Or have you been down there since the fan? Oh, yeah. When I put that fan down there, the path right in front of the fan, so the water off to the side underneath the shelf, that's all that was hanging out there.
How you doing? Slow. There's a busy week today.
Busy week. Oh, yeah. You should probably get some sleep.
I just woke up. I got hungry today.
Yeah, I got to get the rest of the shit out of the Subaru, too.
Like, was I better? Do that
This week is getting the camping stuff in storage. Lolly and I, because of her work schedule, I might be able to go camping, but we don't think she'll be able to. She won't have an available weekend to go.
not in July.
So hopefully, pray for a cooler weekend where I can go camp down on the riverbank and we can do some fishing. And
Rotax says I ran 13 invoices last week. New record, I think.
damn. Yeah, I haven't figured out what I'm going to do for a cooling situation because the minivan's not laid out the same as a van. Unless I want to take the entire back window out of the minivan, which I don't want to do because the hatch is where I do my cooking, and it would be really dumb to have an air conditioner hanging out back in there and try and lift it up. Because then I'd have to have a prop rod and everything. The other thought I had was building a false wall back there, or building just like a stand, a false wall where I open the back hatch, but I'm like, well, that takes, I could do that. I would have to disconnect the door switch, so when you open the door switch, I leave it open while I'm camping. And then do, because it's going to be my cooking area back there anyways. It's not like it's a climb through deal. But I would have enough space where I could put a small window AC.
All
What?
the idiots are going to be in town this week. I said all the idiots will be in town this week. They come up to their cabins on Green Lake for one weekend.
Yeah, everybody keeps asking me why I want a house on Green Lake. I'm like, because the people who own houses there are never there.
They're never there.
My neighbors will never be home.
Except on the 4th of July week.
The major holiday weekends. And those are the weekends when you can just go down to your parents' camper and hang out down there. Well, probably not, because you'll probably work them weekends just because it's money. Money, 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 money. Money.
The reason I'm working every day next week.
Brandon, what's happening? Nate, welcome back. Yeah, I like I said, I want to experiment with some stuff in this, but it's going to be very slow rolling. I'm going to do it. The old one worked perfect. I mean, we had zero problems in that one. I don't know that I want to idle it for air conditioning when I'm camping. Not that it would hurt it, because if I do the DC to D, where before the old battery bank I had in the old one, I had a single battery in there for running, charging my stuff. I didn't really do anything as far as, I ran the streaming stuff back there, but I am going to put some actual camper lights in the back this time around. I'll have the two different inverters in there. But really, all we ever had in that thing was we had a camp stove, and we ran the camp stove, and that was it. And I mean, I was living and working out of this van every day. Would stop at the grocery store when I had time to sleep. I'd make something to eat, and a lot of times it was either steak and ramen noodles, or usually it was ramen noodles and something.
Rotax says id 100% try one of those 12 BAC rigs. They even use R134A so you can fill them with automotive setup.
Yeah, but they're expensive. Good grief. Have you seen them? They're like 12 or 1300 bucks. I don't know. I have the battery bank capacity to run it.
Rotax says $1,000.
I have the battery capacity to run it all night. And then it'd be like when I get up and make my coffee or have my coffee in the morning, I just idle the van.
Rotax says lots of off-brands selling them, but which one is the best?
Honestly, I'd probably go with what's her name? Dometics. I couldn't think of the name at first. Everybody knows when you buy Dometic, it's typically some of the best you can get, and it's just one of those names that you tend to trust. They have some other systems, like some ones that you can install under the vehicle, but I don't really want to put anything under the vehicle because of...
Rotax says only issue I've seen with them is people cutting the wrong size hole.
How do they do that? There's a template in them. Every one of them I've looked at, there's a template in them.
Rotax says yeah, those will be high dollar.
But that's what you get for the efficiency and better cooling rating. I think their BTU rating's better than everybody else's too. Get off of you stupid ass fly. He's messing my screen up crawling around on there. Actually, maybe what I'll do is go get some for sale signs too tomorrow for the Rubahu, and I'm going to go park it out at the old sale spot.
See what you can get. Man. You can get close.
I like the car, but it's just useless to us. I drive it just to drive the damn thing. The fuel, I mean, I got it up to 24.8 miles to the gallon. Or no, 28 point, what was I at? 29.2, sorry. On our little road trip there, I got it up to 29.2. Which was kind of nice, but it's like, how often are we actually going to do that? You know?
I got things for it.
OG says I was thinking about adding a rooftop across to the van, but then I would have to take down my carport.
Do what I used to do. I used to drive the van in the summer and leave the Expedition parked and then switch them around in the winter. You'll just have to raise your carport. You know, cut the legs off and add extensions.
Rotax says 29 is good. Mine might squeak that out if it's a trip.
Yeah, this was a decent trip, and it was pretty much straight line open road the whole way. We didn't have to deal with any traffic.
Rotax says daily driving it's a pitiful 24 mpg.
This one pulls about 21. Just driving around here and going to work. I don't know. Well, it's like I got 32, so now the next thing is when 20 years after she gets rid of this car, she'll want to get a smaller car because those will pull like 45 or 50. I don't care about fuel mileage. I drive 3 blocks to work. This Sportage has actually been pretty good. She averages 32 miles a gallon with this car.
Rotax says dang warm-ups kill MPG. They dump fuel to heat the converter as fast as possible. It's because of EPA. Randy says morning.
Morning, Randy. Yeah, I think we're just gonna sell it. It's a nice car to have around, but even if I were to trade it in, I'm gonna take a $10,000 hit on it. I just don't want
OG
to.
says Lolly needs a Tesla.
No, thank you.
No. We actually looked. Bree, what's happening? Hey, Bree. Bree. Bree, are you listening? Let me know that you're still in here, that you just didn't do a flyby on me. Morning, Bree. So I'm streaming on Twitch also, so you're going to hear TTS. So the other half-assed donuts are still here because they decided to have a birthday party for Cam last night, but didn't invite anybody. And yeah, they had Kayla over there and the whole 9 yards, and I never heard from them. So their donuts are still sitting here. Just so you know that. But your donuts, oh gee, if you get over here right now, I was bragging about your donuts earlier this morning, and my neighbors loved them. My wife loves them. They're phenomenal. They're amazing. They're a crowd favorite over here. Yeah, they're really really good. So I would cut them off the donuts after all the grief they gave you about, the raspberry donut thing. I'd cut them off for a while. Bree, you got to say something. OG wants to follow you. He's a baking connoisseur also. No, I didn't try it. I was trying to be nice and wait for him to call me because he was supposed to be off work at 9, and then I seen Cam Snapchats this morning, and it's like, oh, well, that would explain why.
Rotax says I miss the donuts we used to get at the gas station in the flat noisy plastic package, cinnamon swirl.
Damn.
Rotax says 90s life.
Yep. Yeah, there ain't many left. I think there might be 4 donuts left. I'll have one when I go in. I got to go in and get new interweb stuff. Oh, and I'm going to have to dig out some fly strips. Start hanging them up in the garage.
There's 5 strips of the house.
Yeah, those ones are for the house. I have some for the garage. I have the old crusty ones. Remember when I went on a mission and bought out Menards and Home Depot and Runnings the one year? I still have them old crusty ones in here somewhere.
The stuff in the back of my car needs to go.
Yeah, they're moving out tomorrow from what I understand. So that'll make it a lot easier because then I can get over there and just pull your car up in the driveway and do that.
I just don't want my tenant stuff like on the floor.
No, I have shelves in. I have the one bench in there that Stacy put in, which I don't know why she put that janky ass bench in there when that one that was in there was extremely heavy duty. It makes absolutely no sense to me. When I looked at that bench when I went in there, I'm like, really? You tore that big heavy duty built out of solid 2x2s and 4 by or 2x10s and 4x4s to put that janky fucking thing in? You know what I miss? I miss the old Danishes that used to be like wrapped in a plastic bag. They had the little tray that was in them, the little like white cardboard tray, and then uh the and then they were in like a bread bag, like a wider bread bag that they just slid in. You get like four Danishes in there because my dad and I used to go get them every Sunday. He'd have a Danish while I was reading the Sunday paper, and I would be watching Grizzly Adams and Dukes of Hazzard and AWA wrestling. I miss those Danishes.
I think Boss Hog died this week. One of them died. He was
I,
79.
I don't keep up with the celebrity stuff. I'm going to take my older daughter shopping, and then we're going to clean out my car because it cut you off. I just got done cleaning out the expedition. That's actually why I started the stream. I had to clean it out for fishing because it was getting bad, and I'm gonna end up breaking shit when I let it pile up like that. So I had to get all my fishing rods put away because they're expensive. And then I looked at my truck after. Oh well, I'm all the way set up for carp fishing. I should sell all my other shit. I could sell it to Shane on a payment plan. He'd buy it.
He doesn't do it anymore.
Carp God says fishing today. It's a motorcycle day today.
It's
Gonna
raining out
be
here.
nice.
It's raining out here right now. I have to go get new interweb stuff, the new Wi-Fi and all that. I have to go get the new Wi-Fi stuff. So I'm going to be getting off stream here in about 10 minutes and go get all the new Wi-Fi stuff, get all this stuff on the charger. And then later on this afternoon, I'm going to have to work with Barrican to get some stuff set up for my stream. And then I'm probably going to go out fishing. My wife bought me this big giant ass sirloin steak that I'm going to cook out on the riverside. Hopefully it fits on my little camping grill.
Well, you said you wanted to stay.
I was talking the little ones out of the freezer.
Yeah, but the little ones at the meat market were way more expensive. The steak's the size of my head. Bigger, probably.
Rotax says good idea, Soggy.
The last time I was on a bike, I was when we were down at Carver. I was on Rotax's
Carp
Enduro.
God says big steak for big boy.
Yeah, man. Soggy, we need to get together and do some river fishing. Yeah, that would be great.
Carp God says that was the last time I rode a bike too until yesterday.
Now, I'm kind of over
God
the.
says yes we do. I finally got walleye to go too.
I don't know. We'll have to set something up really soon, especially with the river being high. Should be good fishing. I got all July. I'm pretty much free almost every weekend. 4th of July weekend, I got a 3-day weekend. I went and checked out we drove by that spot that you showed me under the bridge.
Rotax says,
Boy, that's
wow,
high.
my little TW gave you the itchy H Soggy.
I just don't have time for it. That's the thing.
Rotax says, nice bike, Soggy.
I realize the
Carp
fact that
God says, yes, sir.
I realize the fact that I don't have time for a bike. I'm over the fact that, I don't have a lot of interest in one. I mean, I won't ride like I used to because I just don't have the interest. But don't get me wrong, if something came along the lines cheap enough, I'd probably have one just so I can go motor pickle around once in a while. Or go ride
Carp
with my
God
kid.
says, yeah, the river is super high here. Wish it was much lower. Rotax says, yeah, my bike children are neglected.
Soggy, I found a really good boat landing. It's north of Nicollet. So I don't know if you want to go north a little further or. I know it's not in anybody's region. Actually, you know where we need to go? Soggy. We need to go to St. Peter. I need to catch a fish out of the river over there. We were out there last weekend sweating it out, and nobody caught a fish, which is really weird because that's when everybody was catching all the fish there, is when the river was high. And nobody caught a fish out there the whole weekend we were out there. Nobody caught one.
Yeah, we talked to multiple people.
That flooding last year must have really moved a lot of fish around. Because I know flatheads don't move a whole lot.
I thought it was supposed to be so hot today. I would have turned the air conditioner off.
Oh, it's going to get hot. I don't
Carp
know when.
God says, yes, I am game for whatever. Walleye, buzz, and I might go to St. Cloud today. Carp God says for some fishing.
Really? Well, you can go hang out with old dear Butch or what?
Carp God says, yep.
Damn. Nobody ever tells me this stuff. You guys are literally going to be an hour from me. Not even. 45 minutes. Then again, it'd probably help if I hung out on Twitch a little more often. But between working and working on my social media pack, it's just hasn't been working so well. I've only been out catfishing once
Rotax
this year.
says, don't wait for an invite, lol.
I'm going to take Lolly up camping where you and I went, Rotax. If I can get in that same vicinity.
Rotax says, our town.
Yes, sir. I think she'd like that spot. That, and if we get that same spot, I mean, how do you beat it? You walk right outside your vehicle and you're...
Rotax says, sportsman's camp.
Yep. We just got to wait for her schedule to open up a little more. My new tent is ridiculous. Like, it sets up in 2 minutes or less. The only reason it takes that long is
Rotax
because
says,
it's slow.
so did I. That was a good camp.
Yep, come with.
The only thing that sucked there was a signal, and I don't even think we could get Starlink out of there.
Rotax
'cause
says,
it's all
I
tree
just
cover.
don't know how busy it is in the season.
Yeah, but I think if we were sitting right where we were at, like that, I would make my power bank for. I would just bring my batteries and a power inverter. Yeah, that, or I might save that one. It would be nice if I could, if this new interweb stuff means I could run everything from home. It'd be nice to save that money because the stuff that I plan on doing, I have plans to do. If y'all are wondering what it is, why all of a sudden I've decided to cross stream, is because when I've gone to sponsors and I say I'm an IRL live streamer on Twitch, they're like, what's Twitch? But you tell them TikTok, you tell them LubeTube. So like today, when I get done with this, I'll take this VOD and I'll post it on, and I'm going to try and stream daily. It's not guaranteed that we're going to be fishing all the time. It's going to be very weather-based and how I feel. But I'm going to keep posting stuff
OG
up.
says I was looking at a place called Aiken yesterday.
Yep,
What's in this?
we're familiar. I should ask your dad how high the river is down there. Probably.
Oh, like you hear from me.
No, he wouldn't. You know what he does? Hold on. What? Huh?
Rotax says Aiken area is nice but kinda busy.
You have to tell them to turn down the damn TV. That's what I do. I'm like, turn the TV off because I can't hear you.
Yeah, all the primitive campsites have gone up. St. Peter was what, 35 a night?
30.
30 a night down there too, but that's with power. Yeah, they're not getting cheap anymore. You know, and unless you're willing to go way up north. I do know of one in Big Lake. I don't know what the signal is though. I need to go and check it out. That would actually be a good spot you and I could meet one time. It's right on a lake. It'll be lake fishing. It won't be river.
Rotax asks, but it's not. You have toilets and showers, right?
Yeah, that's not for me.
Which one?
If you have toilets and showers, that's not.
OG
No.
says I think it's ridiculous that Riverside went up to $30.
Riverside's absolutely worthless since you can't fish from the
Rotax
bank.
says primitive to me is an outhouse, no water or power.
Yeah, they have primitive camping. I guess those kinds of sites are as primitive as you want them to be. There's, you know, if I want to drive like 2 or 3 hours north, yeah. And that's not saying it's out of the question, but right now for us, it's going to be, we've got a couple of places that we want to go. There will be showers there because it's my in-laws campground, but I don't think the tent sites have power. So basically what I'll be doing is I'll be taking my big batteries.
Rotax says the camping I like is at least 3 hours away. Rotax says 6 hours, even better.
Our problem is, you know, you get off of work on Friday, you drive all the way up there, you get set up Friday night, you camp Saturday, and then Sunday morning you're tearing down right away.
Rotax says spots up by Lake Vermilion.
Yeah.
That's a good area.
It's a beautiful area up there.
Plus, I can't camp like a hippie.
Well,
I fully admit it, I can't.
we got to get a new shower tent because my shower tent, I remembered when we were...
Rotax says same issue, you almost gotta take Friday off.
Yeah, and I only have 2 days of PTO left this year because I took a week off to go fly fishing. And then colitis burned up a couple of days.
The only weekend you can't do anything in July is when I'm gone. I mean, you can go, but you have the dogs.
They'll make good catfish bait.
Shut up.
What? Is there anything in the law that says you can't use a Shih Tzu for catfish bait?
Yeah, your wife.
I mean, if you can go to a local restaurant and eat them, why can't I use them for catfish bait?
Gross. Yes, that's the only weekend I need.
Carp God asks, have you heard from Knives? Duluth Fly _ says LOL wow.
He tried calling me last weekend, and yeah, he tried calling me last weekend, and I didn't realize it was him, so I forgot to. He usually calls me every other weekend.
He's a good dude. I like him.
Probably see him more around wintertime. Sounds like he might be moving out to this area when everything's all said and done. Alyssa, good to see you. Thank you for the heart me. You are number
Blaine
16 in my fan club.
8_19_93 says they shut down all logging roads here in Washington. You might have a 1% chance of buying a permit for little spots that cost up to $600 easy. Never been able to get one used to hike every logging road I came across.
Damn. Oh, it's going good. I'm just doing a morning stream. I'll be carp fishing tonight. Just doing a morning stream, was cleaning out the fishing truck, getting ready for tonight. I had a lot of really expensive gear in there that was just kind of rolling around, and the last couple of weeks have been chaos for us, so it's going to be a blast. The TTS you're hearing is actually on my Twitch channel. That's on roncleveland.tv is all my social links. But we're trying to get it set up to use it on TikTok, but we got to wait for them to approve it. Like right now, my microphone normally works on TikTok, but they denied my application for Restream, so I have to appeal that and be like, what's the deal? So, worked great for a couple of days, and then, yeah.
OG says, I just want to find some spots that I can eventually pull up the van, right next to the river.
South Dakota.
Rotax says they do it here, limit the roads we can use in the forest. Loggers come and then close the road behind them.
I may do that. The issue that Minnesota's got a lot of really nice camping spots, but finding camping spots that are prevalent to fishing is really hard. You know, where I don't like walking straight down a hill to go fishing. I think that's why I fell in love with South Dakota, is because you can go out to South Dakota, and we will be going out there this year.
Blaine 8_19_93 says, yay, same now. They have monitors on every road cause they found me or tried every time, got sick of the harassment.
So in South Dakota, you can literally park right next to the river. And you guys have seen it, those of you that watched when I was full-time streaming. I could literally park right next to the river, walk out my van door, and I'm beachfront property. Just bring rodent control, as we found out. Have rodent control at the ready if you're going to leave your shit open. That was crazy that night.
I'm not going where there's rodents.
That was the only time it ever happened there.
The bugs are enough for me.
Yeah, but the bugs, the only thing we had a problem with was biting flies out there. And then once I went to Bongards and got that fly killing spray that you sprayed on the grass all the way around there.
Boss Lady says that was awesome when you went to South Dakota.
Yeah, I missed that. I was really bummed out last fall when we went out there and it was and we couldn't get to the water.
I want to go to South Dakota.
Lolly wants to go really bad. So I'm going to take her to I'm not going to take her to Fort Thompson because I don't want to have to worry about it. We'll probably go to a spot like Chamberlain or something like that where we normally go, and I'll bring my weed whacker out there so we can whack the weeds down short, and that'll probably be another fall trip, but it'll just be for camping. It won't be for...
We'll have to do some fishing.
Well, if we go in the fall, we won't be able to.
Well, then we're gonna have to go before then.
Okay. She's like, I want to go fishing.
I just shouldn't. I got scared by that river fishing because if I fall, my knee. I don't need to injure my knee.
With the river as high as it's now, you're not scaling down any of the silt walls. You're literally sitting on top of the bank fishing. Like where we were camped at, if we would have went fishing, we would have been
Ruger
sitting where
wife
everybody else
says
was sitting.
McBride would be fun too.
Yeah.
Ruger wife says Mobridge.
You can bring your Rugers with us.
They can't go camping with us because then you'll be hanging out in the air-conditioned camper all the time. We're supposed to be roughing it. Roughing it.
I can teach Ruger wife how to cook. She's like, no.
T.Y. Durden71 says, you ever fishing Lake Traverse? I love pregnant walleye season there.
I don't know
T.Y.
which ones.
Durden71 says preseason *****. Dash says Lolly is an expensive date, leave her home.
Ruger wife says we sit outside a lot when we camp.
Why sit outside?
We do too, and it's right now we just can't afford a decent camper. Eventually we'll get back to just having one camper that we pull around with us. We like the tent idea, but we also realize the fact that we hate packing and unpacking the cars. That's why we got a tent camping in the first place. But right now it's what we got. It's what we're going to do to get outside. And that was the thing too, is it's like when we had campers, it's like we sat outside 90% of the time, but when we're sleeping, we like to be comfortable. So usually that's me with the AC cranked all the way on high and Lolly with 25 blankets on top of her. I have overheating issues. I'm like an old Chrysler. You know, they're fun to drive. They're great. They look beautiful. They're big going down the road. But boy, they overheat a lot.
I don't know.
Like I said, as long as she's got actual airflow.
T.Y. Durden71 says you can't fish the Traverse out of season because it's border water to South Dakota. T.Y. Durden71 says can.
Yeah, that's why. When it was Mindak Outdoors did a video, and this is what inspired the whole South Dakota trip. Mindak Outdoors did a video, and we were at the point in ice fishing that we had to take the fish houses off the lake, and we're like, well, what the hell are we going to do? We're sitting down watching YouTube videos of fishing, waiting until open water season hits. Rotax is like, I know where that spot's at. Well, then we get on the Google machine, we figure out cost. Boy, were we way off on that. The website is very misleading. By the way, just so you know, South Dakota has an app that if you want to purchase fishing licenses and stuff off of, it's very easy to do it. I did it last year. Bought a fishing license that I didn't even need. So next year, I know, or if we go this year, I know I'm not buying a fishing license until I get out there. So, anyways, yeah, we found out the cost was way more than expected. But we went out there, we had a blast. People came through because it's like, okay, we spent the first time we stayed at Fort Thompson, South Dakota, we spent a week out there. And it was a blast because people just came through with support.
Blaine8_19_93 says my Mercury hasn't gave me any problems, driven at about 120k now, just need brakes and lil maintenance.
Oh, right on.
Carb God says we need to get a river fishcon going.
We do.
OG says that is supposed to be coming to Minnesota this year.
Y'all river rats need to find a spot that everybody can get to easy. Because Carver's pretty much going to be non-existent now. St. Peter would work, but, you know.
Rotax says Aiken Campground does look good for a fishcon. Boss Lady says set it up soggy.
The whole thing is, you know, one, signal. That's the number one thing you're looking for. And two, housing however many people may or may not show up. I mean, here's the monotony. If y'all didn't hear this, so in real life, didn't come to Minnesota because the heat, only to have his air conditioner at home go bad. So guess what he had to sit in? The heat.
Carp God says thought St. Peter or Mankato.
Mankato, I think, would be good, but they get a lot of events down there now. Like even last
Rotax
weekend.
says lol.
St. Peter's usually a safe bet because that's like a pass or through campground. Like a lot of people who stay there, or otherwise it's locals for their family events. But the thing that I like about St. Peter is all the electrical outlets for the streamers. We could run 100-foot extension cords to the riverbank, and everybody could keep their shit plugged in.
Carp God says I tried to get him to come, but he a AC baby.
Well, here's the monotony of it, right?
OG asks where can you camping on the river in Mankato?
What is the name of that park? What is the name of that park, Soggy? Land of Love or whatever. It's actually a very historical site. St. Peter is going to be a
Carp
tough
God
fish, though.
says land of memories.
Land of memories. So it is, when we were there, it was the site of one of the largest.
OG says carrot, carrot, carrot.
Yeah, it was the site of one of the largest Native American slaughters in American history. I do believe it is the largest one in Minnesota. It was bad.
Carp God says they have a disc golf course. Carp God says too.
Who cares? Aren't you supposed to train a dog to retrieve those?
Carp God says lots of native did lose their lives in that area. Rotax says I gotta find out if I can fly drones there lol. Carp God says yes.
Yeah, Land of Memories is on the river. St. Peter is literally right on the river. It's like Carver. You walk out the back of your campsite and you're on the river. I don't know how the silt wall is going to be there when the water goes down. That I will say. Soggy, if you set this up.
OG says and they have monuments in Lower Mankato for that slaughter.
Yes, they do.
Carp God says it's a sweet campground. They got tons of campsites. Power ones too.
Yeah, it's.
Carp God says showers, bathrooms.
Yeah, it's wherever. I don't care. I didn't get a chance to camp there because when this guy named Soggy sent me there happened to be a big music festival, so we couldn't get in there. I mean, just saying. No. So, no, it would be a really nice spot for an event. We're gonna have a lot of local traffic. That's the thing about St. Peter too. St. Peter, it's like all the locals come down there and do this little parade around there. Like, oh, let's come down there, and it's like, finally, the one guy came by and I said, "Take a picture, dude. It'll last longer." And somebody said, "Why would you say that to people?" I'm like, very simple.
OG says I would have to worry about my ex-wife sniping
Fuzz,
me.
what's happened?
That's where she lives.
If y'all on the Tic Tac, make sure you follow Fuzz. It's my dude. He's one of the guys that got me into IRL fishing many years ago.
Rotax says I can't stand looky-loos.
And they are horrible at these municipal campgrounds. The nice thing about St. Peter, though, is you can block it off. Like once you start making it inconvenient for them, they quit driving through.
Rotax says stare. Randy says hi fuzz.
He's over on the Tic Tac. He's over on the Tic Tac hanging out.
Rotax says must be Finnish people lol.
Yeah, it's like if you're on the riverside campsites, it's not bad because they pretty much stay up on the main road. You get one every once in a while or a couple every once in a while to try to go through the campsite, but as long as you have the N2 campsites, somebody parked there, they can't drive through, so they quit driving through there. The I don't know. Mankato will have to walk a little bit for the fishing because I don't think there's any sites right on the river. I don't remember. I can't remember. It's been a couple of years since I've been down there. I don't think there's any sites right on the river. Definitely want to bring weed whackers though. Oh shit, it's 10:20.
Rotax says there's a west loop that is close.
Oh, is there? I think that was the loop that was closed off when we're down
OG
there.
says I just looked. There isn't. Rotax says and away from Lukey Lou Road.
Well, St. Peter, the Looky Loos, if you're on the riverside campsites where your backs, you don't have to worry about Looky Loos because you still got to go back probably 50 feet to the river, and they won't bother you. Like literally, if we rented all the riverside campsites, all the people in tents could camp behind the guys that bring campers. All the people that are in tents, and then that way the people that are in vehicles or whatever campers, they take the campsites, and that's the thing.
Boss Lady says would be nice to see all you guys together again.
Oh, but anyways, I have to go to get new interweb stuff. So Tic Tac, all y'all on here, I appreciate you. Thank you. I will be back on tonight, streaming some carp fishing. So make sure you check out RonCleveland.tv. Get my Twitch link. You know, you guys can participate. It's free to set up. Doesn't cost you nothing. You know, click right on the link, direct link, and it's Ron Cleveland over on Twitch. If y'all want to follow me on TikTok, see my videos, go to RonCleveland.tv, click on my TikTok link. It's there. I post videos pretty regular now. And there's a lot of stuff there. There's some old memories from when we were full-time streaming, stuff that'll actually, and it's a lot easier to go through them than it is the clips on Twitch. So you guys will probably appreciate that. So get on my TikTok
OG
page.
says if we rented the entire campground, we could block off the road from the Looky Loos.
Yeah. I mean, either way, I don't care. They're both good campsites. They're both really good campsites. I just have a bone to pick with St. Peter. That's why I keep choosing St. Peter. So.
Rotax says LMAO.
I just have a bone to pick with that place. Anyways, this is Tic Tac. Appreciate you. As soon as I figure out how to end the live stream on here. Oh, that's right. I gotta do this first.
Dash says catch y'all later guys.
Do I got a mod that can do a raid for me? I got a mod that can do a raid. Then I'm going to get all this stuff on the charger, make sure everything's charged, and we're good to go.
John asks Hula.
Yep. Raid that guy. Raid that guy. Definitely raid that guy. I don't get very many opportunities to raid him. Raid that guy. Raid that guy. Actually, I can do it. It'll probably do it faster if I do it. So hold on.
Blaine 8_19_93 says take care. OG asks Loki. John says started.
Okay.
John says I can avoid the bot.